Hey everybody, we're back. Alright, let's mess around with our Joe's semi-automatic pistol, huh? Oh, stun 7. Firepower. Oh. And you can actually, 158. Well, the thing I want to do with this is... Oh! I have found enough white phosphorus. Aha. This will make it good against people. So 205 chemical damage over... Well, 189 or 189 chemical damage. What is 43 the max level? Oh, nope. don't have anything that does shadow damage yet. Explodes. Making them defenseless. That following night, everything got fucked. The death of Ulysses Dawson, head of the Dawson Empire, occurred last night around 4 p.m. One of his manor chambermaids found him in his bed this morning, bathed in his own blood. She immediately reported the incident to the police. A number of Mr. Dawson's household staff are currently being interviewed, but a clear culprit is yet to be identified. Born in the city, Mr. Dawson had been a benevolent patron of London and a faithful member of the Catholic Church for many years. He wore many hats: tradesman, employer, father, and brother. Lucky few who knew him personally, myself included, knew that he was much more. He was a man with vision. He saw a glistening future of our crime-ridden capital. He saw the ways through which our families and friends could be protected from the dangers outside, and he saw how he himself, as a man of wealth and influence, could use his fortune to benefit the people. Mr. Dawson had planned to turn the city into a fortress where the virtuous could live in peace. Sadly, this idea attracted the jealousy of others and did not let him live long enough to enjoy the fruit of his dedication. Mr. Dawson leaves a daughter and many admirers to mourn his loss. As I write these lines, the heart of London has stopped beating. This morning at 3 a.m., police forces organized the evacuation of thousands of residents, insisting on the urgent nature of the situation. Thieves and freaks have been driven mad with the fever that were flooding our streets. Our forces were too few, and their crazed malice was too great. We are spread thin across London, and it is from a barricaded shelter that I write this dire report. What overran our benevolent city? Was it the plague? That rumored illness coming from the most forsaken parts of town? Or was it the Lord himself telling us to flee a London that had become too corrupted and too unfaithful? Either way, our homes had burned and nothing remained. Ulysses Dawson's vision of the West End, kept safe from the fiery menaces of outer London, was proven right. A wall was the only thing that might have kept us from such violence. But it's too late now, so here we are crying over lost children, siblings, and parents, forcing to wait for some sign of sanity while surrounded by lunacy and anarchy. The West End has fallen. How can the country survive this tragedy? Trollololololol. Have I got more evilly? I don't know. You with enough money to buy this paper, enough contempt to scoff at the title of this article, yet enough curiosity to read it anyway, should be informed about the truth of the so-called news that you read in the press of London. Last night, Whitechapel District was evacuated following an abrupt rise in mortality rates. Thousands of inhabitants were hastily relocated, filling hospitals and wards that were already overflowing with terminally ill families, many in bad health, and most of them fearful after days and nights of silent terror. Will you read about this catastrophe elsewhere? No. Am I allowed to write about it? Even less so. Journalists are gagged, silenced, and forbidden to raise awareness about the horrors that dance before our very eyes. Hear me. London is falling. Protect yourself and your loved ones from this sickness, but do not close your eyes to it. It is here, and its thirst craves young, old, rich, and poor. Many thanks to my colleagues, whose names I will keep private for their own safety, who have helped me bypass the censorship and the true plague of London. I assume full responsibility for this publication and beg the authorities to end their insane control. I am level 50. Prepare to die, motherfucker. Oh, hold on. Coagulation. So shit, okay.
Well, well, well.
This beat you to death with a fucking billy club.
What is this truck? Are the vampire hunters here already?
Seem peaceful and lost at the same
Good evening, Dr. Tippett. Do you need any I have no...
I appreciate...
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett. You're lucky to be alive. Consider yourself...
Don't...
I'll leave you for now, Mr. Cox. Good evening. Do you need...
Don't.
Good...
Yeah, I think I'll leave the people here alone. I was a doctor. I kept my patients alive.
Good evening. Do you require... Well, until the day science finally admits failure, Please accept this little contribution.
Thank you, Doctor. Your efforts are admirable, though laughable.
I'll leave you.
Here again. I have wasted too much energy for so little result.
Good. Do you need... I...
Oh well.
Too much energy for so little result.
Uh-oh.
Those bastards. What have they done to Edgar? Looks like he's wounded. I better follow the blood. Good evening, nurse.
Good evening.
Are you all right? I heard the hospital was attacked.
Poor Dr. Swansea. He was the only one to stand up to those brutes. And now they've dealt with him.
Where is Dr. Swansea?
I don't know. I hid behind a tent. I saw nothing.
Goodbye, now. Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Ultraviolet curtains and orichalcum powder. Dr. Swansea's always been a resourceful bastard. I bet he never told you he had this installed in case of a vampire attack. Says a lot about how much he trusts you.
What have you done with Edgar?
Don't worry. We don't kill humans. Even if your friend is deserving of a little punishment for what.
What are you talking about?
We know everything. Swansea and you created this bloody epidemic. You aim to unleash another disaster, just like William Marshall did.
No! I'm trying to put an end to it! Just like you are!
You're the progeny, aren't you? Where is the monster hiding? It's still in England, isn't it?
I have no idea what you're talking about. Jeffrey, please listen to me.
No tricks. That shit won't work on me. We've found proof in the theater. Doris Fletcher was your first experiment. Now where is Marshall? Speak! So much for modern technology. Time for the tried and true. Do you know what this is, Beast? This is a drop of King Arthur's blood. The blood of a true defender of Britain. Stronger than your evil powers.
The fuck?
This is ridiculous. We're losing precious time.
True enough. Soon I'll bring your head before your coward of a father. Close your eyes! This is gonna hurt. Show some style. Fight like a man.
So,
The
wait.
blood of a true defender of this land will protect me.
He's just drinking King
True
Arthur's
light
fucking
will
blood.
cleanse you.
So what, he's basically pulling an Alexander Anderson?
Come on, Reed. Try.
Oh, fuck it. Shoot him.
We are the guardian of justice. Priwen shall prevail.
You can't accept the fact we're not enemies, can you?
We always have been, and we always will be. Of all the evils that threaten mankind, your kind are the worst.
You were just drinking blood yourself, supposedly.
I was only reborn for a few minutes before you and your men hunted me down like a beast.
You were only reborn for a few minutes, and you'd already taken the life of an innocent woman.
There is no way you'll ever let me be, McCullum. You'll always hunt me down, won't you?
There is no escape, Leech. Kill me now, for there is no way you can sway me to your ideals.
That's where you're mistaken.
What do you mean?
I'll make you a vampire. I'll make you one of us.
No! Kill me!
Prepare yourself, Hunter. You're about to be hunted, just like me.
No! No!
When I kissed my poor mother goodbye, I had no idea what I was doing. But now I do. Consider this my kiss of Judas.
Oh, that's how Mary got turned then. I was wondering how she just fucking bit her.
Welcome to the world through the looking glass.
Okay, that's badass. That's a good line. I'll give him that much. That's a good line. It's just, oh fuck it, just shoot him with the poison bullets. Yeah, so supposedly this last it's pretty much just a big old goat fuck in the combat section.
Thirst for
If this is
blood.
actually the end of it, which it seems like it seems like it's probably gearing down, because there ain't really a whole lot left to do. I could do.
This is despicable.
I will say though that was a pretty good scene. I will definitely give it that. That was actually some good dialogue. This is my kiss of Judas. Welcome to the world through the looking glass. Oh. Captain Biggleton. Oh yeah, this place would be totally fucked now, because I ate everybody. How much damage is this gonna cause? Actually quite a bit. Huh. Yeah, this game does have some good dialogue here and there, but...
So Priwen never left Doris's theater after they invaded. They must be holding Edgar here in their new headquarters.
Ah, Jesus power, go away. Over 1,200 damage. I think there's a 19 level difference, but still, owie.
It's locked, all right. Wait. It's locked.
Well, he's down there. do I have to... If I can't find a key to get down there... Things are... Oh. God damn it. I just finished reading Doris Fletcher's journal. As painful and dreadful as it was, my God, the woman planned to see everyone in London afflicted by infecting all who would come to her next play. It helped me understand greatly what's going on. Doris Fletcher's real name is Doris Jones, daughter of some Harriet Jones, who's treated as a patient Pembroke. Clearly hated her mother, used her fame and notoriety to see her while visiting poor and sick in the East End. I don't know exactly what happened then, but this is how her mother infected her before returning to the theater. And how she turned into the monstrosity that Leech Jonathan Reed finally defeated. Presence of that vampire at the same hospital where Harriet Jones was treated can't be coincidence. Deeply involved vampire plague in London. Swansea's his accomplice, and the two have been planning something terrifying the guards never faced. Maybe I should have taken some time to read the old books and manuscripts the guards still possess to get some answer. It may prove useful. In the meantime, better send some patrols to investigate what's going on at Pembroke. It took me 2 days to parse through the dusty registers and the books we keep in the vault. God, I hate losing time like this. Search did prove fruitful. For once, I found 2 pages that could be related to a present situation, a copy of William Marshall's memoirs. I took them with me to read more carefully. This creature Marshall says he fought in 1666. This disaster that aimed to destroy London is very similar to what happened with Doris Fletcher. Disease, infection, hate of the living, desire to see the city ransacked. I have no doubt the bloody old leech of William Marshall is behind all this. And that he's back. Could be our greatest accomplishment if the guard could at last find and destroy that old bastard. William Marshall did in 1666 exactly what Reed is trying to do. Did the creature, this disaster, escape their will? Is the way Marshall destroyed him in 1666? And Reed did the same with Doris Fletcher before she became such a creature. I don't know, but those two clearly working together, and Swansea's helping them. I immediately gave orders to have him arrested and interrogated. As for Reed, I'll destroy that evil beast myself, and then we'll deal with William Marshall and this disaster thing.
Doris Fletcher was about to become a disaster. I'm getting close to having all the evidence.
She was turning into a gribbly, fucking Lovecraftian horror from beyond time and space. And horny Diablo Vampire was like, "Hey, you're the champion." Which I wonder if that's William Marshall. Oh no, it did say it was ancient, so it's probably something else. Probably gonna be some fucking... Probably gonna be something like rooted in one of ye oldie, you know,
It's locked, all right.
Myths or whatever. What the... The Vampyr Knight.
Blood of a pure heart, garlic, blood of a king. I don't understand. Perhaps this is what McCullum drank. I had better keep that in mind. Edgar. Edgar, can you hear me?
Jonathan, is it really you?
Easy. Easy. Save your strength. I'm getting you out of here.
Don't try to spare me. As a physician, I know all too well when it's too late. Punctured lung, broken ribs, and internal bleeding. An accurate diagnosis, wouldn't you say?
Edgar, what happened?
They wanted me to confess. Beat me black and blue.
Jeffrey McCullum ambushed me at the Pembroke Hospital. He was convinced you and I were responsible for the Skal epidemic.
I never imagined that self-righteous fanatic would dare to attack us in the open. What became of him?
I put him in a somewhat delicate position when I made him an immortal.
Really? You sure that was the wisest course of action?
Time will tell. The most intriguing part of his accusation was that you and I were the pawns of some ancient vampire.
William Marshall. Yes, they tortured me to make me confess the same nonsense.
Well, of course it's not William Marshall, it's Robert Walpole. It's always Walpole.
I trust you, Edgar, but the Guard of Priwen is onto something.
What do you mean?
William Marshall, for example. You speak of him as if you know him. How is that?
Jonathan, I cannot say I'm ready for another round of questions.
Why would the Guard of Priwen believe you and I created the vampire epidemic?
Maybe due to our profession? Because I offered you shelter in my hospital.
What can you tell me about William Marshall?
Not much. History paints the story he was the greatest knight who ever lived. Amongst the immortals, he had a yet greater legend.
Why is the Guard of Priwen so obsessed with him?
He was the only ancient vampire to escape the first great hunt launched by the Guard of Priwen in 1854. They believe he's an evil creature plotting his return.
Why would he deserve such a reputation?
I cannot say. The Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole has next to no intelligence on him. All I know is that he's supposed to be the oldest of all the British vampires.
While investigating the epidemic, I read some of McCullum's findings. I think you have some explaining to do.
I have nothing to hide, Jonathan. Nothing at all.
Do you know Doris Fletcher's real name?
No, I'm afraid not.
Her real name was Doris Jones. She was the daughter of Harriet Jones.
What do you want me to say, Jonathan?
Do you remember when we suspected Sean Hampton of killing Harriet Jones?
Yes. The terrible episode that came as a shock to us all.
Harriet Jones faked her own death. When I found her in the sewers, she confessed she wanted everybody to pay for what happened to her.
That woman was extremely bitter, full of hatred and festering anger.
Doris Fletcher visited her mother at the Pembroke Hospital. That's how she first got infected.
I know nothing about that. Miss Fletcher once came to visit the sick. That is all I know.
No, Edgar, there is more. Doris Fletcher was Harriet Jones's daughter. They exhibited the same symptoms: blind hate and strong physical mutation.
What does this sad story have to do with us?
Do you know where we are? Doris Fletcher's theater. This is where that hateful creature plotted to spread the epidemic across London.
I only briefly met Miss Fletcher once when she visited the Pembroke Hospital. You say it was to see her mother. She seemed like such a sweet and graceful woman.
My point exactly. The disease turned her into a bitter soul, driven by vengeance just like her mother. A symptom of all the infected patients.
Certain diseases are known to produce similar effects. Rabies, for example. And rabies is not the devil at work.
Come on, Edgar. Don't you see the pattern here? The epidemic, the link between Doris and Harriet, the suspicion of McCullum.
How could I? I never saw Harriet Jones again after she fled the hospital.
Doris and Harriet shared more than a hidden family bond. They were the embodiment of the epidemic and are linked to the Pembroke Hospital. Come on, Edgar, this is no coincidence.
I swear I'm at a complete loss. All I did was administer vampire blood to cure old Harriet. There was no evil plan, no diabolical plot.
You did what?
I tested the regenerating and healing properties of vampire blood on Harriet Jones. My only intention was to find the cure for influenza, I swear.
Whose blood did you use? William Marshall's? Mine?
Lady Ashbury's. While transfusing her with human blood, humanely appeasing her hunger, I also kept samples of her blood for my research.
You used her blood on Harriet Jones? My God, Edgar, that's unethical. You betrayed 2 of your patients at the same time.
How dare you judge me? Must I name the alarming list of your victims?
We are both deceivers. But at least I know I'm a monster.
You have worked beside me. You saw what I'm doing at Pembroke Hospital. Jonathan, you know I'm not an evil soul. Just another victim of this tragedy.
No, Edgar, you are not going to die. Unless you want to.
What do you mean?
I can save you, Edgar. I can turn your broken body into one like mine.
You truly would? After all I've done, after all that's been said, you would offer me this gift?
I have no way of knowing which punishment would be worse, Edgar. But it is not for me to decide. So?
Oh, please, Jonathan, please. I beg you. This is what I've always wanted. This is what I've always searched for.
Very well, then. Prepare to die and be reborn. To face an eternity of guilt.
I'm ready. Oh, indeed, I am ready.
Enough!
Prepared to fight the disaster. Oh shit, Harriet's the disaster, isn't she? Or...
It's locked, all right.
Wait, is Harriet the disaster or is Elizabeth the disaster? He used...
Return at a more convenient time. So Harriet Jones became the original carrier when Edgar gave her vampire blood. I must tell Elizabeth.
Steady, boys! Over there! There's one of them vermin!
That might be why she didn't want to turn her daughter.
Bloody monster!
Maybe she can't. She can only make skulls as well. Wonder if she's gonna mention the fact I ate her daughter. Time to find out.
What good fortune brings you back to me, Jonathan? What is it, my dear?
I'm afraid it's bad news, Elizabeth. The worst, actually.
Please, speak up.
Edgar is no longer in McCullum's grasp. I resolved that matter.
Where is our good friend now? Is he well?
Of a sort. His injuries were mortal. I had no choice but to make him one of us. To save him. Or to punish him.
To punish him? I fail to understand. And what is the source of this cold tone in your voice?
Edgar Swansea was responsible for the Skal epidemic, Elizabeth. It was he who unleashed the deadly scourge upon London.
What? Are you certain? This is the most terrible accusation of all.
He confessed everything to me. He sought to cure the disease, to exploit vampire blood to stop the epidemic. But he unwittingly gave birth to a catastrophe.
All those poor victims. How could he do it? What happened?
Edgar gave no heed to ethics. His theory could have been proven to be correct, but he abused the confidence of his patients to test it.
I must say I'm shocked, Jonathan. Who would have thought it? And the poor patient. Let me guess. It was Harriet Jones, was it not?
Yes. That explains how Doris Fletcher was infected, and how she became an Icor. She secretly visited her mother at Pembroke.
Then we have no choice. We must act quickly, Jonathan. We must return to the sewers and put an end to the threat poor Harriet embodies.
I have one more matter to discuss with you. Harriet Jones was the primary case, but... do you know what a healthy carrier is?
There is a tone in your voice that frightens me, Jonathan. What are you trying to say?
It was your blood Edgar used for his experiment on Harriet Jones.
What? No. No. This can't be. Oh, God.
Elizabeth, are you all right?
No, I have to go.
What do you mean?
Leave me alone. Save the city, Jonathan. Save what can be saved.
Elizabeth, I need answers. Why did your blood
Stay
cause
away
this?
from me. Please. I swear I never was your
Wait!
enemy.
No! Elizabeth!
The Red Queen. You almost stuck your vampire dick in that. Let's see. Gather ingredients for you. Oh jeez, we have a fucking fetch quest. The fetchiest of quests.
Now would be a good time to blend the recipe Marshall used when he fought the disaster. I think I know where to find what I need.
Insulin. And of course, fucking douche nozzle. The fuck? That was a blighty werewolf.
Whose blood could be purer than that of William Marshall? Lord Redgrave will have to spare me a drop.
How dare you interfere with my hunt! You from Ascalon! You Londoners are no match for me!
Well... Okay, I was...
Sir, you are not welcome here.
You're really gonna make me go in the back door. Okay, you dumbasses forgot to lock the back fucking door. So I guess Elizabeth must be the...
I'm still persona non grata in the Ascalon Club. If I want to speak with Lord Redgrave, I have to take improvise. Good evening, Lord Redgrave.
What are you doing here, traitor? I shall smite you for this audacity.
I'm not here to bicker, Lord Redgrave. I can put an end to this epidemic, but I need your assistance to do so.
All is already lost. The city verges on collapse. The epidemic has spread so widely. Disgusting scals are everywhere.
The epidemic could be stemmed if I destroy the original carrier. England can be saved, but only with Marshall's blood.
The blood of William Marshall? Of my maker? Are you mad? This blood is the purest of all. My maker proffered it to me on the battlefield. I cannot hand it to you.
Stop this farce. Marshall never was your maker. I have no idea how you acquired his blood, but I need it now.
I see. Well, in that case, given the gravity of the situation, I suppose I can spare you a drop.
Thank you, my lord.
If you manage to save this city, you'll prove yourself a veritable servant of the crown. So Godspeed, Dr. Reed. Our fate lies wholly in your hands.
What the fuck? Found the creepy sex dungeon. The recreational use of blood. Ah, good old double hinge doors. You guys still haven't cleaned the bodies up. Great. Now I get to go all the way across fucking town to go find whiny little vampire hunter boy. That's still kind of fucked up though. He's like, oh, this is King Arthur's blood. Yeah, if you need potion materials, just fucking destroy a district. Shit. Wait.
This is my You're feeble.
Seriously, just fuck off. I gotta go see a man about King Arthur's blood. Fucking hypocrite.
It's an filthy piece of shit! Murderer!
But anyway, we'll...
Easy does it, boys.
Shut up.
Take it.
Anyway, like I was saying, we'll catch up with the man about old Arthur's blood next time. Later.